welcome, sir. Your friend Lydia, and my dear Lydia Seno. Now, your first symbol, I need your womb. And share, of course, the most active, once again, the most decorated, the most present, the most visible second lady in the history of Ghana's political space, Her Excellency Samira Bawumia'S. Put your hands together for the virtuous, the most visionary second lady.
Thank you. Let me start by thanking you all for making time to join me today. Medawasi. Yankupo Nshiramu nyina se mwasai mwadaji. Edi abeshia me. Emse jubedi ayedi neno. It is to discuss our future, our collective future. It's a conversation we're having. Menemo base yebedi nkita ho. Na mintie mwedu mansem. Na meso memfa medie ntudwa. Na Nyankopon ye yadom. Na send ya Yesu no. Inshallah, December 7th. Dr. Bawumia'S be president of Ghana, Moto Abane Edimana. Yeso, yahwe kwanya yedi beye jumaden edi abua creative industry. Na obi oni me bia nim say me I love creatives. In fact, sometimes it even gets in the way of the way I enjoy creative works. Major movie, I'm looking at cinematography. I'm thinking about the thought process, the writing. Sometimes I don't even enjoy the movie for what it is, but that is how my mind works. It's not just a campaign stop for me. It is something that I'm passionate about. Me pese, me so, me nemo kamwasem, sebeya, mo industry no ebetumpo. Of course, we all enjoy our music. We all enjoy our music. Rappers are here. I'm out for her anymore. Me so be a me rap music on. People say, hey, who says so? But I do enjoy it every now and again. But yes, as I said, this conversation is about our future. How do we ensure, say, our interest is carried through, and this doesn't become just a talk shop? For me, it's about having people who genuinely care about the cause and also having a relationship with them. Because I need to be able to have relationships with you such that sebibinia, because sometimes I find to me but the implementation no not bibia to sning and I say if you are saying yesu no ye nyanesa inti say yenimo edinkita all the time and I say ye pretty access I just say bibia wo hobiano obema ya swati and I say bibia say yet snitting and I say yes sana na mama yehu na yetumi aye amanako kama. There are a few issues. Minyaba Mrs. Joyce Atifa or your lawyer Nima Pa, lawyer Pinyimpa, and I was discussing this event with her. And now or my dream about how the laws now you're creating say how are even the people within the space abreast with Sa Emrana Ayashisheno, you know. Laws, the Creative Industry Act 2020, then we have Copyright Act. So are we familiar with it? Can we create spaces to me information now workshops so that you become abreast with it? And also, as a continuation to what the earlier speaker said, this industry exists on other things. it is not just about being able to have a camera to shoot a movie, but we have location, we have set. You need people who are trained to work with you. We have to look at what you do within the general ecosystem in which you exist. Not just say, abayin shishe na nkasa no, esi ehwe say, in shishe owo ana enyuma abayin ne no. Does it inure to the benefits of industry no? Say the kind no. And then nyamencha de light wo. Dumsor ni hobby. It influences how you do your work, and not just how you do how people consume your work. Because we are moving our light in so we have to think about what you do within a broader ecosystem. Now, and say sometimes we get caught up in a few things. And my near Ebia Abetre Manase near where we've come from. Dear bedroom pempen, so So I'll just give you a little background of where we found ourselves when we came into office. GDP was growing at an average of 3.4% at the time. We of course went through dooms of almost 5 years. The tourism and arts sector felt the brunt of the economic crisis and Dumsor the most. But under the NPP administration, we are recording, in spite of all the COVID, all the economic hardships, I think between 2017 and 2019, we're growing at an average of 7%. Of course, after COVID things did, but now we're also going up again. This year, we are expecting to grow around 4%, and the projections are even higher, so the economy is growing even more. There are trade surpluses, not just say foreign exchange, free education, free TVET, STEM, infrastructure, be brain. Now, tourism, creative industry specifically, upgrading a lot of tourist sites. Now, you're doing creative, but we sometimes forget the tourism bit. But thinking America is because we've seen movies. New York. New York has been sold to us as some New Yorker. You fall in love with it before you even arrive there. But because of what we are consuming, we want to go and see it, and that is what drives the tourism. So it's an interdependent industry. Completely, of course, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, Kintampo Waterfalls, Bonso Eco Park, Nzulezu Village, Refurbished Salaga Slave Market, Pikoro Slave Market, ATIC Phase 2, Tafia Monkey Sanctuary, Boere Kente Museum. Infrastructure and Kasanso. Apart from upgrading the various tourist sites, we are building these amphitheaters. Now, amphitheaters, Kumasi, we are projecting, say, it will be ready by end of this year, Ediamamo. So there's work going on now in earnest. But we're building two, one is in Accra, one is in Kumasi. We're going to build a nationalism park, the Tano Boise Sacred Grove, the Geese Park, Creative Arts School, the Inchurachachere Eco Park, and a copyrights clinic, which is what we were talking about, where we have legal avenues and legal assistance. We're going to have those clinics across all 16 regions of ours. And our achievement in terms of governance around the creative industry, we've set up the National Film Authority to evolve a dynamic and self-sustaining and culturally conscious film industry. We've passed, of course, the Creative Arts Bill and set up the Creative Arts Agency to develop this thriving industry. Of course, the LI on tourist sites and attractions has also been passed. Creative Arts Directorate created by the Ministry and Public-Private Partnership Forum has also been created, and we've completed a draft on Creative Arts Education Bill. Our achievement in terms of marketing our country, which is also what impacts the creative industry. As you all know, we've put a spotlight on Ghana through the Year of Return, Beyond Return, December in GH, Ghana Week or DC. We've done Ghana Week in South Africa. We've synchronized various online platforms to facilitate operations and information access, and of course the Global Citizen Collaboration for Education and Global Outreach. All of these programs have given platforms to our artists, to all the people who work within the space, into building stages, the lights, and all of those people have had gigs doing, because of all of these Year of Return, December and GH. People are getting gigs to go and play at where they probably wouldn't have got it. So that's a sort of the creative thinking creative arts community. Ministry of Tourism and its agencies have also facilitated support to various stakeholders and players. And this includes grants to Mencia Museum, the Pan-African Heritage Museum. It has also provided film support to over 20 film producers by the Ghana Tourism Authority. There's also a film pitch by the National Film Authority, and support for several festivals, including Chalewote, Little Havana Rhythms, West Side Festival, and Afrofuture. So our achievements in terms of business support: music publishing workshops. Phase 1 of the project involves regional stakeholder engagements and the advanced stage of training 20 Ghanaian music entrepreneurs to become internationally certified publishers. A film pitch, as I mentioned earlier, and then support for also the various festivals. Now, in terms of business support, we have also deepened cultural diplomatic relations between Ghana and Spain through live musical tour of Ghanaian musicians vis-a-vis by the Casa Africa through the Ministry of Tourism and Arts. And we've supported the creative sector by making it possible for upcoming events, organizers, and creatives to organize shows through the Accra Metropolitan Assembly Office in partnership with a private partner, Snap Media. And in digitization, we've digitized revenue collection at the various castles, forts, and sites. There's a national single window platform for regulation and licensing of tourism establishments, and a Visit Ghana app created to provide tourists with a comprehensive guide to attractions, accommodation, activities, and improving accessibility. So we've done a lot. There's been a steady increase in foreign tourism, established quarterly forums, and others. But I just want to give you some numbers now, and yet tangible, the conversation we're having. So in terms of job creation within the travel and tourism, as at 2016, we created 190.14 thousand. By 2019, we had created 777,000, and in 2023, 840,000. Wow. That's an astronomical leap from 190. Today we're at 840. Tourism receipts were at $1.6 billion in 2016. In 2019, $3.3 billion US dollars, and today it's $3.8 billion US dollars. Arrivals, 932,000 in 2016, 1,130,000 in 2019, and today it's 1,148,000. Domestic tourism. So all of this work, is also improving domestic tourism. So all these sites that we've upgraded is encouraging people to go out. Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. Everybody is going there regularly. Domestic tourism. As at 2016, we were at 457,000. 2019, 669,000. And today we are at 1,407,000. That's where we've come from. In terms of licensed tourism enterprise, which is like accommodation, hotels, and things, and also 2,798. In 2019, 4,131. Today we are at 4,630. Food and beverage, 4,486 in 2016. Today we are at 647. Hotel occupancy, 5-star hotel occupancy was at 60% in 2016. Today it is 71%. And then average length of stay was 8 days. Today we're doing 30 days. So we can see the impact interventions on the industry through the various impacts. So what are our commitments? What is the way forward? As I said, this conversation is about Yedachi. What are we doing? What is the future for us? We know that some of our creatives want exposure. You need to travel, meet your counterparts, have gigs abroad. So we're going to implement a travel protocol service to support artists, performers, and other creatives. We're also going to provide tax incentives and seed funding to stimulate private sector investments in arts, including attracting international events. Into tax cuts now it's We're setting up a cultural heritage fund to provide sustainable funding for the Chieftaincy Institution and cultural heritage production. We're going to set up Ghana as a conference and exhibition destination through conferencing facilities. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen the trade fair, what we're trying to do at the trade fair. That is part of, putting together and making Ghana a conferencing hub. And of course, it's a conference, but most of the gigs are here or conference hall. And then it will of course also create a venue with large enough capacity. If you're having a show, instead of a hall that can take 1,000, if you can take 3,000, that's more revenue per gig that you're going to have. We're also going to accelerate Ghana's aviation potential by intensifying efforts to establish our national airline. We're constructing a multi-story car park at Kotoka International Airport, revamping the runway overlay and dedicating Terminal 2 to regional flights so that our neighbors can also come in easily. And we're going to extend the Kumasi Airport runway so that bigger aircrafts can land here, and we will develop Sunyani Airport. We will also construct the Cape Coast Airport and then an airport in the Upper East region. As you know, we've built 2 major airports. Prempeh, the second airport, and Tolon Asodie, Yakubutali Airport, Tamale. We're going to preserve the heritage by working with relevant stakeholders to embark on a massive archival project to protect our historic films and documents. We'll facilitate the tracking, collection, and distribution of royalties to enable creative access and manage your revenues. I think that's a big thing, especially for the music artists, because you're not able to get your royalties as you're supposed to do, but we will, through digitalization, we can ensure that. And we will, of course, increase public sector investment in tourism and creative arts, and we'll maximize opportunities around copyright, payments for content, and revenue flow, as well as data for analytics. So we will use technology to achieve all of these. As we said, digitalization, it's not just and it's a computer, but you're using the new technology to leverage on whatever you're doing already. That's basically what digitalization is. It creates efficiency. We'll use digitalization to achieve a lot of these. We're going to implement the e-visa system. We'll introduce an e-visa policy for nationals of African and Caribbean countries. And then we'll also establish regional creative hubs to foster innovation and collaboration among the creative sector. And then, as I said, there'll be tax incentives, including flat tax to promote private sector investments, and it will also develop a digital marketing platform for Ghanaian content. It was commissioned a few weeks ago, and every week ago, I've lost track of the days. Benche Biana, Dr. Bawumia'S commissions digital platform for the creatives. And so I started aiding a bosheleso. And he's going to also establish a national hospitality training school to prioritize training and upskilling for the. We'll also develop a policy to make Ghana a strategic medical tourism hub in the region through private-public partnership, and will accelerate ongoing investments in coastal sea defense programs, and that's how infrastructure supports your work. Because once you protect the sea areas, then tourism will also grow. We'll protect those communities and enhance their tourism potential. We'll also enhance diplomatic relations with the Caribbean through our diplomatic missions and cultural ties. We'll accelerate the implementation of diaspora engagement policy to enhance diaspora contribution to national development, and explore partnerships to provide sector for gold tourism. In Tier Gold, we're going to focus on how we can make tourism out of it. That's also something that's important. And we'll also invest in attracting tourists from new markets like Asia to increase global tourism market share. And an implementation of the Beyond the Return and December in Ghana programs. We're also going to continue with that. And we'll strategically integrate the road networks, as our minister said. Our pioneers here, and we are focused on that. Because, and then, Nigerian movie, we're also a Nigerian movie. It's become very iconic. And that's what we need to do. We need to be able to do iconic infrastructure works that you know which city you're in, you know which country the movie is coming from. And we're going to enhance economic ties and expand markets and leverage the African free continental free trade agreement to attract investments and boost made in Ghana tourism services. So to conclude, let me just say that the goals and commitments that we are making to the creative and arts and tourism sectors are aimed at driving economic growth, creating jobs, and enhancing the nation's cultural and global presence. The combined benefits of job creation, economic growth, and cultural preservation, enhanced accessibility, skills development, and global presence underscores a transformative vision for Ghana's future. And as I said, we have to look at who we are giving our power to make these decisions for us. One of kind of food drapper, a piano maneko, into a food drapper, ya ye jumanding, and you'll be an on Saka. But once we're on the right track, in him say, and once we are also committed to you, and I'm going to make a personal commitment to you. I know Dr. Bawumia cares about the industry because he understands the economy will be at the NAYEMA. But me so, because of my unique passion, may a young kakra, but because of my own passion as well, I will be a voice for the creative space.